Hey everyone, we're playing Somari because I fucking hate myself. I'm not going to be doing a complete let's play of this because even a shiftless loser like me has time, doesn't have... 1 second in. 1 second in and I fucking die. You know, I don't recall playing like the original Sonic game, Sonic 1, and having to tiptoe around the stage to make sure I don't get pot-shotted by enemies that hit me off screen. Or from off screen, excuse me. Like that... yeah, this game, this ROM hack is... I don't know if it's a ROM hack or... I can't... Thank you. I don't know if this is a ROM hack or a completely original creation. I mean, on the surface, it doesn't look like it would be that bad. I mean, whoever made the sprites... Whoever made the sprites put a clear amount of effort into it. Like, I don't know why you would invest so much time into making a ROM hack like this, but whatever. I'm not going to judge on that aspect of the game. It's the one aspect where it almost succeeds. Like, the pushing animation, and the running animation is fluid, and it looks nice, but everything else is fucking garbage. And it appears, to the outsider looking in, that I seem to be going out of my way to fucking fail, but I promise you that that is not the case. I mean, I'm doing worse than I did when I did my test run, but I give you my word, I am not failing on purpose. This game plays like ass butter. Ugh. And every single time he does that animation, it looks like he's flipping me off. I keep forgetting about that. And you know what one of the problems is? The fucking enemies have a similar light palette and kind of blend into the fucking background. They don't stand out enough for me to register them right away. Like right there, like it's gonna blur naturally as I'm moving. So, like, you know, there's a reason why fucking Contra, Super Contra, eventually made the bullets that you shot out of your gun a certain color. They kind of flashed, and that was because they did it so they didn't like kind of blend into the background. They were easier to detect, so you could fucking avoid them. This game tries a similar approach with the fucking glowing projectile, but the problem is, it's the exact same palette as the fucking ground. I don't know how you make that mistake. And the funny thing is, the enemies have blue outlines, which should make them stand out from the landscape, but it actually doesn't work. I don't know how. In fact, if anything, it kind of makes it a little bit worse. It's not even like you had to, like, essentially have the enemies have a similar color, you know, color ratio like the original one did. Like, oh, well, these things were blue in the original Sonic game, so let's make them blue here. It doesn't work here, and this is the one thing you don't have to... You can change for the sake of making it easier to detect right away, especially their fucking projectiles. And take note, I have more than 100 rings now, and I have not gotten a 1-up. And as soon as I get hit once, all those rings are going goodbye, so I have no idea what purpose they serve. Maybe I get him when I get to I get an extra life when I get to 1,000 rings, but I swear to God, if you're that good at Somari, you need to reevaluate your place in life. Because that would suggest that you have dedicated an obscene amount of time into perfecting to honing your Somari skills. And to me, that's the equivalent of, I don't know, like, perfecting the art of polishing turds. That sign shakes when I hit the wall for some reason. Now see, if I got an extra life because of the score, I think that would make sense, but I'm not even sure if that's the case. Well, right there, I almost got pot-shotted. I only remembered that because I did a, like I said, a play test before, and I got hit the last time I got there. 3 times. I died almost 3 times in a row. God, what the fuck? Okay, so that piece of platform is solid. There's no way to indicate that. Okay, I'm assuming that how I was supposed to judge by the fact that it didn't have the green part on it, but that's just an assumption more than anything else. And I've already lost my shield power up. You know, you know what would be really appealing right now? Like a fucking Mario power up? Just saying. Like the whole point of crossing these two things over is like, oh, you got your peanut butter and your chocolate. You got your chocolate in my vagina. And you know, it's supposed to appeal to you because it's mixing the best of both worlds and making a beautiful blend that tastes of chocolate, peanut butter, and vinegar. Or fish, if you don't wash. But here, it's like, no, you just plops Mario... not even Mario, a Mario sprite. A Mario-like sprite into the world of Sonic as designed by, I don't know, H.R. Giger, if he had suffered several blows to the head. And this is the outcome. And I think this game was, like, I think this just was a bootleg title, too. Like, this had an actual physical cartridge. So I can't even say it was, like, a ROM hack that was, essentially done by, I don't know, like a college student. I'm assuming that's the case. I believe that's the case. I could be wrong, and correct me on that if it turns out that I am completely wrong on that. I don't know, like, there's a lot of effort in some areas, like the sprites look nice enough. I mean, the color coordination leaves a lot to be desired, and everything sort of blends in, but everything looks nice on their own. So someone did care about this enough to try. But when it came to see, yeah, the sign moves when I touch the screen, touch the end of the screen. I'm getting a higher score, but I still don't think that means anything. I'm trying to figure out what that means, and I'm just drawing a blank. For some reason, I just lurched forward, or the screen lurched forward, and I'm trying to. The momentum is really weird. You have to be in the air for some time before you start moving forward again, or at the very least, moving forward at any decent pace. So it's kind of hard to maneuver, and I got really fucking lucky there. Oh! No. Oh. Oh, 1-up, and I didn't get any jingle. Thank you, game. You're telling me that all my endeavors are pointless. And even though that's completely true, I still say fuck you. Oh, shit. I'm willing to wager that there's some kind of spike pit or something below me. There is a serious game-breaking... I can't even call it a glitch. It's a game-breaking piece of level design that renders the game absolutely unplayable. And anyone who's played this game for a few minutes knows what that is. Like, you gotta watch out for that pit like the fucking plague. Now, I know that's kind of self-evident. Like, oh, it's a pit of spikes. Why the fuck would you jump in it? I mean, if you fall in there by accident, it's game over. I'm not saying that you're gonna take a bit of damage and gonna ruin your score. No, you can't get out of that goddamn pit. And there's absolutely nothing you can do but to actually... You know what? No. It's even worse than that. If it were just a simple matter of... I don't know. I'm kind of stuck here. Oh, God. I need... Move! God damn it! I need a ring! Like, it's even worse than just being stuck. You have to actively avoid... getting your ring back after you take damage from the spikes again, or else you will never end. And if you're in a tight enough area where the ring will constantly bounce back to you no matter what you do, you are half-past fucked. We'll see that eventually, but for now, let's fight Eggman and his ceramic cookie, I guess. Well, half crescent roll? I don't know. Fuck. Remember how fun this... Well, okay... Remember how, well, okay, easy this boss fight was in the original game? Like, piss easy? Like, I have memories of being shit at this boss fight in the Sonic game. What the fuck was wrong with me? I guess it's because I had no patience. Like I want to do continuous damage right now. Why do I have to do this fucking jumping pattern bullshit? I don't recall Eggman moving that fast when he's, like, doing this either. Is this compelling? Like, are you bowled over with the amount of creativity and ingenuity that went to designing this boss fight and transferring it into the fucking NES? And we go. Come here, Megman, you fat fuck. We actually got past stage 1. That actually is very impressive. And I don't get anything after this. Like, can you just... I don't know, can someone just spit in my face so I can get a symbolic representation of how much time I wasted? Oh god, Marvel! Oh no! Now, you would think that a character like Mario would do well in Marble Zone, because one of the complaints that people have about Marble Zone is that for a game that has an emphasis on speed, you are essentially incentivized to slow down in Marble Zone, and everything kind of slows to a crawl. You'd be wrong, because Mario... The level design in this stage is the most fucked out of any one of the game. I'm making an assumption, because guess why? I can't get any farther than this. Like, everything else... Like, they've made changes that actively hinder what was previously in the game, like right there. I cannot catch that. Like right now, that platform is on fire, and there's nothing I can do to put it out. So I have to make a leap of faith, well, not a leap of faith, but I have to essentially do a bad jump in order to try and get past it. There is no way to indicate which platform is the one that will be set ablaze. Now, you can make an assumption based on how it's slightly more elevated than the other ones, but you're not going to guess that on your first time. When you play the original, the platform sinks down slightly, so you have enough time to assess that that platform is not something you want to be on. But here, it just immediately sets on fire, and you have to try, as hard as you can, to get off that platform before... basically, the mere second your foot touches it. And I guarantee no one has that kind of time or patience. And I'm out of rings. And see, like, it's not... like, I don't know if these platforms will be set ablaze. And if I die, this is a game over. I had to really start the stage over again, so... The levels will get over again, and it is a pain to get to this point. So, this game necessitates save states. Like, if you can find me one person who managed to play this game through its entirety without cheating once, well, have that man committed for just exceptional lunacy, and also buy him a beer, because that man deserves it. For both his patience and the horror that he put himself through. Tiptoeing around this because I do not want to die. I do not... And again, the bullet... It came so fast, I could not react in time. If the bullet didn't kill me, then the fire that I would have jumped into would have. Like... and if I had stayed still and allowed both to pass, the fire coming from below would have killed me. And it's not even like these guys just fly and then... shoot once and then fly off screen. No, they stick around to try and come back and shoot you again. I mean, if anything, I have to commend the person who made this game, because these things, while a joke in the original game, are fucking thorough in this one. Eggman is not playing around. He wants you dead, and he's not gonna pussyfoot around this. Like, anyone ever seen that film by, I don't know what the YouTube channels, not the film, that short little YouTube sketch where Dr. Wily essentially becoming smart enough to know, you know, maybe we shouldn't essentially give Mega Man all these advantages when we are trying to kill him. Like, I'm just imagining like a Robotnik version of that, where Robotnik smartens up and he becomes fucking lethal. And it actually works because they actually had a crossover. Mega Man and Sonic. And Dr. Wily and Dr. Eggman became BFFs. You know, you'd think a sound effect would be nice, you know? Like the original game. Like, you managed to top a fucking Marble Hill Zone from the original on how, in terms of how slow, repetitive, just shit it is. No one likes Marble Zone. And you've managed to just exacerbate every single problem that everyone had with it. And granted, like, I don't know what you could realistically do to translate a Sega Genesis game to the NES, but I've seen people make modest efforts with games much more advanced than this one. There's a fucking... Like, there's a fucking remake of Final Fantasy VII for the NES, and from what I've heard, it's much better than this. Seems much more faithful to the original. Probably just as emotional, too. But Tish. Did you cry when Eris died? What are you, a pussy? I got really goddamn lucky with that one. Please tell me the stage is over. And I have no... Like, give me an extra life. I deserve it for what I just went through. Can you imagine what Spring Hill Zone is going to be like? And I have a question for anyone watching. Do you think this is worse than Sonic Advance? Because I'm still on the fence about that. I mean, this at least has the excuse that it was made by people who were probably making their first game. And this was just more of an experimental thing they did to pass the time. You gotta love how the fucking... I love that fucking, trees in the fucking background that blend in with the grass. It just melds together like it looks less like trees are in the background and more like the mountains have a large supply of moss and it's just spreading onto the ground here. Oh fuck. I could have gotten that thing, that tomato, whatever that is. The potato, excuse me. I got the wrong food. What did I grab? I didn't think I grabbed the... Ah, god damn it! The fucking flickering screen! There was no way I could have detected that. There was no way. And it doesn't help that things are coming up on the screen because of the fuck... It's glitching out on me! And I have a hard time determining what's next because of it. I'm not Golden Burger. Can I just go... fuck you. Fuck it. Oh god, that was close. This is the area where the lava chase would normally be. I mean, as tense as that moment was when you just blazed through it. I mean, look, if you can't replicate that, then do something different. And I do understand that that's what they were trying, but I don't know. You could have done a little bit more than just have the same corridor where you have to do the same jump over and over again. What the fuck? Those things are misplaced. Thank you for that. Like, how are they swing? Well, they're floating platforms, so I guess you can make that excuse. Maybe it's like an anti-gravitational device that pulls the platform back and forth, which kind of raises the question of why Robotnik would put this there, but maybe he did it to deliberately torment me, so whatever. And now you think about it, in the context of the Sonic universe, what is Marble Zone supposed to be? Like, is it some kind of ancient ruins? And more things flickering off screen, and I have a hard time navigating because of it, because I don't know what's going to be ahead of me. Need coins. Need coins! And it took that forever to come, and I'm going to try to run past it because I don't feel like putting up with your bullshit. I mean, seriously, this is... Oh, God! Why did I do that? This is Sonic as done by Active Enterprises. Okay, maybe that's a little... No, I don't feel too bad about that, because I always get the feeling when I play Action 52... Yeah, it's a regular occurrence. I play it almost every fucking day. It's my favorite game. I'm an Action Game Master. I have the shirt and everything. I was going to enter the contest, and they told me to stop calling their offices, and they put a restraining order on me. But, now the platforms don't light on fire, which I'm not complaining. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't want consistency when it's inconveniencing me, so consistency be damned in this one instance. But yeah, when I play Active Enterprise, I always get the feeling that had they been given the time that they needed to make a good game, it could have pulled something off with it. Like, they were young, aspiring game developers, and the fact that they were able to make as as much as they did in, like, what was it, like a few weeks? It's, and this, especially the music, like, the music in some of those games were surprisingly decent. It had a decent melody, like, the Cheetah Man theme was awesome. Like, I think they could have pulled something off if, like, they had the chance to. It's a shame that their talents were, and their hard work was wasted for a guy who didn't give a fuck about the gaming industry. And I died, and I kind of talked over it, but I don't give a shit, because this game is doo-doo butter, and it is ass, and if you play it, you're ass. Sanine. You're asinine. I wasn't meant to insult you. Yeah, no, we're not doing this again. Bye. I'm gonna go drink something from under my sink so I can forget about this game. That's what we call a bleach martini, ladies and gentlemen.